Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back to Sons of Liberty 1773. This is indeed where men and women from around the world gather in defense of liberty. I'm your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers. Today is December 27, 2023, year of our Lord. Well, Brad the Rat Raffensperger is hiding from testifying in Georgia. They want to hear his explanation for Dominion voting machines not being secured for the 2024 election. This is huge breaking news, and the Gateway Pundit just put this article out today. This posted by Jim Hoff, by the way. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger refuses to testify under oath about security of state's Dominion voting machines. The Federal District Court for the Northern District of Georgia unsealed the 96-page Halderman report in June 2023. The security analyst of Georgia's ImageCast X ballot marking devices. Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger was hiding this report from the public for over 2 years because it was damning. University of Michigan professor of computer science and engineer Jay Halderman and security researcher and assistant professor at Auburn University Drew Sringall collaborated on the report, where they discovered many exploitable vulnerabilities in the Dominion voting system's ImageCast X system. Far-left Georgia Judge Amy Tottenberg sealed and covered the results of the investigation on Dominion voting machines in Georgia and sat on the report for 2 years until it was released last summer. The report confirms that votes can be altered in the Dominion voting machines. You're preaching to the choir here. In fact, the report reveals that the Dominion software is vulnerable and can be hacked. Trump-hating Georgia Secretary of State Brad the Rat Raffensperger hid this information from the public until June 2023. Here is a copy of the Halderman report released in June. I'm going to pin this article as a pinned comment so you can read this and look through the report yourself if you would like. Professor Halderman wrote about his findings in a blog post after the report was released. Back in September 2020, the court granted the curling plaintiffs access to one of Georgia's touchscreen ballot marking devices so that they could assess its security. This is from Halderman. Drew and I extensively tested the machine, and we discovered vulnerabilities in nearly every part of the system that is exposed to potential attackers. The most critical problem we found is an arbitrary code execution vulnerability that can be exploited to spread malware from a county's central election management system to every BMD in the jurisdiction. This makes it possible to attack the BMDs at scale over a wide area without needing physical access to any of them. Our report explains how attackers could exploit the flaws we found to change votes for potentially even affect election outcomes in Georgia, including how they could defeat the technical and procedural protections the state has in place. While we are not aware of any evidence that the vulnerabilities have been exploited to change votes in the past elections, without more precautions and mitigations, there is a serious risk that they will be exploited in the future. Professor Halderman also tweeted that the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad the Rat Raffensperger, will not install Dominion security patches before the 2024 election. Folks, he's known about this report for over 2 years. The Georgia Secretary of State, Brad the Rat Raffensperger, and he's chose to not secure the system. They do not want secure elections anymore, folks. They want to choose our elected officials, select them, and make us feel like we're doing something when we're doing nothing. This cannot stand, and I implore you to watch the video I posted yesterday that America will not survive corrupt elections. It's an 11-minute video. Check it out. Continuing, the known breaches in Georgia would be sufficient to uncover and exploit every vulnerability we found, and likely others we missed. Yet MITRE's risk assessment assumes that Georgia perfectly protects the equipment from illicit access across all of its 159 counties. Astonishingly, this is Alex Halderman now. This is what he posted on X in June 14 of 2023, just this past June. Astonishingly, Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who has been aware of our findings for 2 years, just announced that the state will not get around to installing Dominion security patches until after the 2024 presidential election. Raffensperger here now. The office has announced that there will be pilots of the recently Election Assistant Commission certified version of Democracy Suite 5.17 in 2023. The software has not been deployed in any election in the jurisdiction as of yet. The pilots will examine its full functionality in a real-world setting. Also, in reviewing the process, it will require an update of the nearly 45,000 pieces of voting equipment, along with the subsequent acceptance testing. This process will take tens of thousands of man-hours. Therefore, the statewide move to 5.17 will occur following the 2024 election cycle. Folks, he's had over 2 years to fix this problem and has purposely chosen not to. I think that's very telling. This will allow the state and counties to focus on executing municipal elections and running the presidential cycle. It also allows the state to put together a thoughtful, thorough plan to roll out the latest software. This is just such bullshit. Raffensperger, a vocal never-Trumper, has been aware of the investigators' findings for over 2 years. Emerald Robinson posted, now Secretary Raffensperger refuses to testify before the court in January regarding the state's voting machines. Last month, U.S. District Judge Amy Totenberg ruled that a lawsuit against Georgia's use of electronic voting machines must go to a non-jury trial in January, next month. She ordered Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to defend the state's utilization of electronic voting prior to the upcoming presidential primary election because the lawsuit questions whether Georgia's current system of computerized voting is safe or whether it is vulnerable to potential hacking. Obviously, it's vulnerable. We just saw the report. However, the state, spending taxpayer money, is now appealing to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals to keep Raffensperger from testifying. Says one lawyer to James Magazine Online familiar with the case, Raffensperger selected the system, repeatedly defends the system as secure, but now can't take an hour or so in federal court to defend it because he has no defense, folks. What Brad the Rat Raffensperger is doing is like a corrupt banker that's in bed with the mafia, broadcasting to his criminal friends that I'm leaving the vault door unlocked and not setting the bank security alarm system. They do not want honest elections. How does he expect anybody on either side of the aisle to trust the election results this next November? The simple answer is nobody will. Let me know what you guys think, but this smells. Okay, it's got a smell, and it's not good. So let's remember Ronald Reagan's warning, okay? If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. We have to protect our country. And we're not going to save our country if we don't first secure our elections to where people trust them. I don't care who wins an election. I just want to know that the winner is legitimately the winner. I know my vote counted. I know the election was absolutely honest and fair, and we accept the results. I accept the results. That's all we're asking for. But they're out to get Trump and tear this country apart. Watch my video from yesterday. America will not survive another rigged election. It's just, they apparently want us in the midst of a civil war. I don't know what their thinking is, but they're not working for good. I can tell you that. So if you're new to this channel and can relate to the content I share, please subscribe. Check mark the notification bell and give the video a thumbs up. Please comment below, as I love reading your comments. May God continue to bless this great nation, and may the good Lord keep you and yours safe. Until next time, Sons of Liberty out. See you guys.